Good evening, everyone. We could take our seats. We will get started this evening. We're glad that you could all come out and help us celebrate some of our superstars among our staff here at Suffolk Public Schools. My name is Beth Ann Bradshaw, and I'm the Division's Public Information and Community Relations Officer and your Mistress of Ceremonies for tonight. We're here tonight to recognize and honor not only the winners of the Superintendent Star Awards, but to recognize and honor some of the nominees as well. We received a total of 84 nominations for this award for the first semester. There were 49 instructional nominees and 35 support nominees. Our judges had a hard time with figuring all that, but out of those 84, we're honoring 24 employees tonight, 14 instructional and 10 support. So being here tonight is indeed a tremendous accomplishment and something to be very proud of. So tonight we want to show our appreciation for all that you do and will continue to do in Suffolk Public Schools and for our students. Later in the program, I'll be sharing with the audience some of those exceptional things that our honorees have done. At this time, we have Mr. David Lefebvre, principal of McBen Junior Elementary School, who will come forward to bring greetings. And I also want to thank at this time the student hosts and hostesses who greeted you outside. They really wanted to be out in the cold. They did. I think they were one-upping. You know, the first one went in front of the other one so they could get to the programs. That was Kennedy Bailey, Jeremiah Ely, and Zion Wilson. So they're helping for the festivities tonight. Let's give them a round of applause. Mr. Lefebvre.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to McBen Elementary School. On behalf of myself and my assistant principal, Mrs. Little, we'd like to congratulate all those star winners that we have today. It's great to be in a room full of excellent teachers and paraprofessionals, and to have hosted at McBen Elementary School for the first time. We are super appreciative of that as well, too. At this time, I'm going to introduce Kennedy Bailey to you.
Just try.
Okay. Hello, I'm Kennedy Bailey, and I hope you're having a good evening. And please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time I'd like you to please welcome Dr. Darren Whitney, our Superintendent of Schools, to bring opening remarks.
Thank you, and good evening, everyone. A little slow with that. Good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here today to honor so many of our staff members. And I think it's important that when we talk about honoring our staff members, it's a matter of recognizing all members and all different groups that help us run our school division. So we're very pleased that we have the opportunity to do that a few times during the year, because so many of you work so very hard at what you do and help our school system become the success that it has been over the many years. I'd like to also introduce to you and welcome and thank our school board members who are here today. We have 2 out of the 7 that were able to make it here today, Mrs. Lorraine Skeeter and Mr. David Micknick. I also think it's very important to thank our staff members who made this night possible as far as putting it together, the Public Relations Department, as well as the Human Resource Department, as well as each of the staff members who work here at McBen Junior Elementary School. I just want to take a few moments to say thank you. Thank you to those of you who are honorees, those of you who are being honored today. Thank you for those who recognize those folks to actually nominate them for this honor. It's very unique, I think, and special when you have a peer who says you're doing something beyond what the expectations are. And obviously, when you look at the applications and when you hear the remarks that Beth Ann will share with you, you'll see why these people are here tonight. You'll see why they've been nominated, and you'll see why it's so important for us to recognize the good work that they do on a regular basis. And 9 times out of 10, when I speak to some of you, either whether it's during a ceremony like this or whether it's during the time that I visit the school, you don't recognize the extras that you're doing because it's just what you do. And so for that, I say thank you. We appreciate all that you do. We thank you, and we wish you much success as far as continuing this year and the many years with Suffolk Public Schools. I thank you.
So our first order of business is to recognize our citywide winners for each of the categories. These are for first semester 2016-17. We do the award twice a year. So if you have someone else in mind that you said should have been here tonight, I'm going to nominate them next time, all that information is on our website. Of course, students and parents and community members can also nominate people as well as colleagues. So the winners for the division level will be presented with a banner to be displayed at each of their buildings, and they'll also receive a check from Suffolk Education Foundation. So first we're going to introduce you to our Instructional Star Award winner, who is Elizabeth Riley, a second grade teacher at Hill Point Elementary School. She was nominated by parent Kelly Westfall. If Miss Westfall would please come forward and bring Miss Riley with you to introduce her, and then we'll present her the award, and then she can follow with some remarks. Thank you.
Thank you. My daughter Leah has had the pleasure of being in Ms. Riley's second grade class this year, fulfilling a wish that she's had for 2 years. You see, Leah told me while she was in kindergarten who I would be requesting for her for second grade. While I was impressed with her ability to plan ahead, I wondered how a teacher that she'd not really even had much chance to interact with had left such an impact on her. So I asked her how she knew what teacher she wanted 2 years into the future. After regaling me with details of her Fun Spirit Week costumes and her collection of Converse sneakers that could rival Chuck Taylor himself, she said, whenever I see her, she smiles at me. Something so simple, yet it left an impression on a 5-year-old that was who she wanted to be around the most. Now fast forward and imagine being 7 years old and going into your new classroom for the first time, and there hanging above the door is a 3D replica of Jack and Annie's Magic Tree House, with its rope ladder hanging down, just inviting you to go with them. You know that when your child crosses that threshold, they're going to embark on adventures the whole year long. This alone solidified for my daughter that Ms. Riley was quite simply fun. And fun is exactly what she makes her class. She isn't afraid to relate to her students on their level, and she will have in-depth conversations about the merits of My Little Pony or Star Wars, and she will debate Marvel versus DC Comics. And in case you didn't know, it's best just to agree that Captain America is the best superhero of all time. Ms. Riley brings learning to life and will do whatever it takes to make it fun for her students. She will have indoor snowball fights with cotton balls if it makes them remember the precipitation. She will have graham cracker pizzas with fractions. If writing a menu of the grossest things that their imaginations can possibly come up with gets them to use adjectives, then bring on the slimy elephant toenails. You see, kids are excellent judges of character. They know when someone truly cares about them. Ms. Riley makes sure that each of her students feels cared about. She manages to give an entire classroom of children enough undivided attention every day that they each come away feeling special. And in this environment, they thrive. Her methods work. These students have grown and learned so much already this year. Ms. Riley knows that in order to teach our children, we need to engage them. We need to get them interested, and we need to harness that eagerness to learn everything that they possibly can, all while their favorite question is still why. As a parent, we entrust the most precious things in our life to our teachers every single day. And as it turns out, my daughter had pretty amazing foresight for a 5-year-old. I couldn't have asked for a better teacher, a better role model, or a better person than Ms. Riley to help lay the foundation for a love of learning that'll take her through the rest of her life.
I wrote mine down on a piece of pink paper during guided reading today. But I want to say, of course, thank you so much to Ms. Westfall for thinking of me and for recommending me for this. But I guess mostly it's just that I'm grateful because I get to go to work every day with some of the coolest kids. And we get to just be ourselves. I get to be myself, and they get to be their best selves. And sometimes we drive each other insane, and sometimes we laugh, and sometimes we act crazy. But we all are together in this, and we have an amazing time. And I get to know every day that I'm making the smallest, even the slightest little difference, and I think that's pretty cool. And I know they're not here, but I'd have to say thank you to my kids because they let me be me and be who I am, and I wouldn't be up here today if I didn't have that opportunity with them every day. So thank you to my amazing students who are not here with me, but whom I love very much.
Am I on the right side?
Doesn't matter. You'll come stand right here. Let's take a picture right here. And here's a token from the Suffolk Education Foundation. The president, Jennifer Schmack, was unable to be here because of a family matter, but I want to say thank you very much. We'll do it, I know. Lisa, the next one will be on that. Okay. Our support staff's Star Award winner is Clarice Naylor, and she's a teacher assistant at Creekside Elementary, and she was nominated by a fellow teacher assistant, Cheryl Hendricks. So Ms. Hendricks should now come forward and bring her honoree, Ms. Naylor, up to tell us a little bit more about why this person is so special.
Good evening, everyone. I know there's a lot of people that are very deserving of the award that were nominated, and I want to tell you what Clarice has that sets everyone else apart from herself. First of all, she was assigned this year to do 2 inclusion classes, one in first grade and one in second grade. And those of you who may not know, but sometimes there's a lot more to your regular duty daily than in a regular classroom. And Clarice actually goes above and beyond and includes herself in the inclusion classes. She takes on a teacher role because oftentimes the other teacher is working with the other kids or the special ed teacher's working, and so she takes upon herself to just get in with the kids. She doesn't sit on the periphery of the room. She actually will sit crisscross applesauce on the carpet. She consoles the children because sometimes they just need a little extra encouragement. Then sometimes they just have too much to focus on, and so they'll just kind of get out of their zone and they might start acting up. And she knows she has this certain persona about her, and she will, take the children aside. She has excellent ways that she calms the children down. You'll see her walking around the building and, has the kid in a totally different mood. They'll be laughing, and she just has this connection. What textbook, and as many schools in our area are constantly getting new kids, and they come and they go. So it's something that she has to continually do on a daily basis above and beyond what she's already required to do in her teaching assistant capacity. So also with the textbooks, I wanted to mention that we had the prior people just were in their kind of routine, and so we had a whole closet that you walked in and you could not even hardly get around because we had so many old textbooks. And so she's been working with everyone to try to find out which books should go where and to utilize our resources and recycle what doesn't need to be used. And finally, the biggest thing that she has done is in terms of the AR, which is Accelerated Reader Program. And again, this was taken on by some people that left the division. And so she was just thrown in, and she came up with a way to record the kids' accomplishments each quarter. And she's created these bulletin boards throughout the building by class, and they're the Creekside Bookworms. So she's made these cute little bookworms and has the name of the child on it. And for the first quarter, if they met certain criteria, then they were able to get a bookworm, and the kids were all excited and to see their names up there. And then now that we have just finished the second quarter, she's in the process now of adding to it, and it really gets the kids motivated, and it's something that our school had never done before. So she's very creative in that. So all in all, I think Miss Naylor deserves this Star Award because she shines in everything that she does. She takes the time and effort to really connect with the kids. So I think she's an exemplary employee that I will always look up to. Congratulations.
First, I wanted to say thank you to Ms. Hendricks for nominating me for this award. I have to say, with everything that I was tasked with this year, she has been my biggest help because it has been a lot to do. I truly love my job as a teacher's assistant, and I've been at Creekside for 11 years, and we are a very big school with a lot of children. And it does have its moments, but I do truly love my job, and I want to say thank you to my principal for putting up with me for the last 11 years. And she's a true inspiration to me, and thank you again for the award.
On behalf of the Suffolk Education Foundation. Thank you. There'll be time for pictures afterwards. So now's the time to pay tribute to our honorees. We'll begin with the Instructional Star Award honorees, and when I call the nominator's name, if that person will stand where they are, and I'll read a short excerpt from the nomination paperwork. And while I'm reading that, I would ask the person whose name is being honored to come forward to receive the certificate of appreciation and be graded by Dr. Whitney. If an honoree is not present, I'll still read a few lines from the nomination so that we can hear the great things that are happening that this employee's done. And if an administrator at that school is present, they can come forward and accept the certificate in their absence. And then everybody will come to the side and stand, and we'll take a group picture at the end. Now, sometimes the nominations are 100 words or 200 words. I had one that was 325. But I've selected like 30 words, maybe 20 in most cases. So they're very short, but I wanted to directly connect an attribute that is the criteria in the Superintendent Star Award and that's used in the judging quality. So let's start with our instructional staff honorees. And there's 14 honorees out of 49 nominations that are here tonight. First, we have, in alphabetical order, Teresa Abdubaki. She was nominated by 3 students and 2 parents, Felicia Brown White and Nakisha Dale. And she's a 4th grade teacher at Booker T. Washington Elementary. She has the quality that we want to highlight of commitment. This is a quote from one of the nominations. She's determined to help her students in every way necessary. She inspires my daughter to keep pushing for greatness, and we work together as a real team. Next, we have Tawana Copeland, a math teacher from Kings Fork High School, who was nominated by Holly Boyce, one of our staff members. Her quality to highlight is student engagement. Holly wrote, she's proven that language barriers are not a problem in her classroom. She teaches 1 student in Spanish and is also learning some sign language to communicate better with another student in her math class. Amy Espinosa, a Title I reading specialist from Hill Point Elementary, was nominated by Tanisha Hampton, one of her colleagues. Determination. Truly dedicated and spends countless hours planning and preparing. The strategies she uses in her classroom have consistently boosted reading scores every school year. Congratulations. Denise Hinderlight, a third grade teacher at Mac Ben Junior Elementary, nominated by Dave Lefebvre. School spirit. She's a positive, upbeat teacher who, when wanting to raise staff morale, booed teachers with a special Halloween gift that then those teachers had to pay forward until everyone had received an anonymous thank you gift, an inexpensive gesture with enormous impact. Edward Hollowell, sixth grade teacher from Forest Glen Middle School. Accepting on his behalf is Principal Melvin Bradshaw, but he was nominated by fellow teacher Carrie Epperson for his caring attitude. He currently mentors an eighth grade student without an ideal home life, giving him a safe place to go and talk about the choices he should make and how he should react to certain situations. Hollowell generally cares about him. Eric J., a math teacher at Lakeland High School. Accepting on his behalf is Principal Doug Wagner, but he was nominated by Chris Novakoski, who is another colleague. Initiative. It was called a major factor in the school, having the highest high school math scores. I attended a workshop he conducted, and although I'm not good at math, his innovative methods and approaches got my attention. Natalie Karakla. Is that right? Karakla. Fifth grade teacher at Elephants Fork Elementary, nominated by Brian Vanderlinden, and also teacher there. Creativity. She reaches out to staff for free materials to do an awesome math activity using decimals from shopping advertisements to make real-world connections. And she also helped plan an incentive event for students with positive behaviors. Lacleder Odom. Is that right? Yay! A math teacher from John F. Kennedy Middle School was nominated by a parent, Crystal Brown. Great attitude. Goes out of her way to help not just her students, but any student at JFK. She always has a smile on her face, and you can tell she enjoys what she does. Jenny Owens, Title I reading specialist from Booker T. Washington Elementary, nominated by fellow staff member Teresa Abdubaki. Commitment. Miss Owens gives of her time so unselfishly, working to coordinate new activities such as math and the kitchen night and providing resources for teachers and genuinely spreading the love of reading to everyone. Laura Pettit. I had it right. Laura Pettit, sorry. I should have studied a little more, I'm sorry. Sixth grade teacher at John Yates Middle School, nominated by colleague Colleen Grob. Caring attitude. She works hard to make connections with her students, and even after they've moved up, she's still often in touch with them and truly cares about how they're doing both in school and outside of school. Garrett Rhodes, assistant principal at Elephants Fork Elementary School, nominated by two colleagues, Meredith Kerr and Wendy Hubbard. Leadership. An unbelievable force at Elephants Fork, creating programs to help with student behavior and working to improve staff morale with shout-outs and trivia prizes. Always there with an open door. Jeffrey Seneca, fifth grade teacher at Mac Ben Junior Elementary, nominated by parent Wanda O'Neill, as well as Laura Seneca and Melody Guthrie. Creative initiative. Brought in couches to create a comfortable reading environment, filled the classroom with animals and plants used for live examples in science, and created movement-oriented math lessons. So, got one more. The last instructional honoree, I'm going to bring up together with one of our support honorees because they were nominated together. This is Anitra Smith, an early start teacher at Pioneer Elementary, and Connie Horton, an early start teacher assistant at Pioneer. They were nominated by parent Lucretia Boone for their caring attitude. Beyond their classroom duties, both Ms. Smith and Ms. Connie visited my daughter when she was hospitalized. To see them come all the way to the hospital and visit her gives me hope that there are still teachers who truly care about their students. Okay, we're going to pause for a minute and take a group picture. Ms. Connie, we'll put you in the next group picture. I'm sorry, I pulled you up together. You were special. Okay. Thank you again to all of our Instructional Award honorees. Now to recognize our support staff honorees, and these were 10 honorees out of 35 nominations. First is Kathleen Anderson, a special ed teacher assistant at Elephants Fork Elementary, nominated by Becky Hamlin, a colleague. Commitment and attitude. She has been the consistent factor in her students' school days. The substitute teachers may change every few days, but Ms. Anderson has been a constant and for her students. Here's another name I didn't study. Michael Bjorklund. Is that right? Bjorklund. Teacher assistant, Oakland Elementary School, nominated by colleague Melanie Wild for his initiative. He started a voluntary math group during 5th grade lunch, making flashcards at home, but she wrote, "Many people might not consider lunch duty the most desirable task, but Mr. B has said he loves it because students on silent lunch are the best victims to engage in a good conversation." Tammy Epps, bus driver, trainer with the Transportation Department, nominated by staff Lori Hill for her leadership. She demonstrates the most important qualities of making a good leader, the ability to communicate clearly and motivate others. She's had perfect attendance for more than 2 years and no hesitation to cover other routes whenever needed. Kathy LeGrand, special education teacher assistant at MacBen Junior Elementary. Nominated by 3 of her colleagues, Amanda Behrens, Denise Hinderlight, and Janet Myers, for her school spirit. Kathy truly is the heart and soul of MacBen, from working in the cafeteria to handling bus calls to boosting morale with You've Been Socked. There is no task too large or too small for her to tackle, with love, support, and devotion. Hera Oakletree. Say it again. Oakletree. Special ed teacher assistant from Northern Shores Elementary School, nominated by Maria Ehring, the guidance counselor there, for her school spirit. She recently sewed together a quilt with each fabric square representing different homerooms and groups at Northern Shores. The squares were then embellished by students and staff to demonstrate disability awareness and understanding. Stephanie Odom, bus driver, Transportation Department, nominated by Lori Hill, a staff member. Commitment. She is one of the most reliable drivers on the road, and the department knows we can always count on her. Not one time have I not seen her have a smile on her face. Natalie Smith, a special ed teacher assistant at Lakeland High School, nominated by staff Angela Brown for her caring attitude. One great example. One of her special needs students refused to get on the bus during afternoon dismissal, and once the parent arrived, the student refused to get into the car. But Ms. Smith stayed with the student and rode with the student in the back seat of the parent's car to ensure a safe trip home. And last but not least, DeVry Wicks, administrative assistant with our Human Resources Department, nominated by Barbara Patterson Oden. Leadership. She demonstrated exemplary teamwork and work ethic this past summer when the Human Resources Office was understaffed and transitioning leadership. As the face of the HR department, she makes a great first impression for potential new employees. Congratulations, everyone. Pause for a picture. Oh, please, Connie, Miss Connie, please come back up. Thank you very much. So let's give all of our division-wide winners and our honorees, both instructional and support, a final round of applause. We would like to thank Mr. LaFave and his student hosts and hostesses for their help today, and also like to thank Mr. Brian Williams and his staff for providing the refreshments for tonight's reception. So, Dr. Whitney, closing remarks.
Thank you. Once again, I do appreciate all that you do from our bus drivers, our teachers, teacher assistants, custodians. You all do a fantastic job. You help Suffolk Public Schools continuously improve. I appreciate that. To the nominees who are here today, thank you as well. Those of you who are nominated, those of you who are honored. In addition to your family members, thank you for sharing your significant others or your family members, for allowing them to do the extra hours or spend the extra money or whatever the case may be. We appreciate all that you do. We could not do all that we do without your assistance. So thank you once again. I appreciate it. Thank you.